The office coffee machine hissed as I poured my third cup that morning, the bitter steam rising up and mixing with the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. My hands were shaking a bit, not from the caffeine, but from the argument I'd just had in the break room. Look, Mike, I'd said to my coworker, trying to keep my voice low, this isn't right. The safety gear they're giving us is falling apart. I almost sliced my hand open yesterday on that faulty machine. Mike just shrugged, his eyes darting around like he was afraid someone might overhear. Dude, keep it down. You know how the boss is. Complain and you're out. But I couldn't let it go. It had been building for weeks. The cheap gloves that tore after one use, the helmets without proper padding, all while the company raked in profits. I felt this knot in my stomach, like if I didn't say something, someone was going to get seriously hurt. I slumped back at my desk, staring at the screen full of spreadsheets that blurred together. My phone buzzed in my pocket, a text from my sister. "How's the grind today?" I typed back quickly. Same old crap. Boss cutting corners on safety. Feels dangerous. But then, instead of hitting send, my thumb slipped and I posted it to Twitter instead. Wait, no, I meant to vent in our family group chat, but I'd been scrolling through feeds earlier and must have switched apps without noticing. My heart dropped as I saw the tweet go live. Boss cutting corners on safety. Feels dangerous. Hashtag work sucks. It was vague, no names, but I worked at a mid-sized manufacturing firm, TechForge Industries, and anyone in the know could piece it together. Panic set in immediately. I tried to delete it, fumbling with the app, but my Wi-Fi lagged, and by the time it vanished, a few likes had already popped up. Breathing heavy, I refreshed the page. Gone. Okay. Crisis averted. I forced myself to focus on work, inputting numbers, but my mind kept drifting back. What if someone saw it? What if it got screenshotted? The office was quiet except for the distant hum of machines in the warehouse. Lunchtime came, and I grabbed a sandwich from the vending machine, the plastic crinkling under my fingers. Sitting alone in the corner, I checked Twitter again out of habit. Nothing. Relief washed over me like cool water. But then, as I bit into the dry bread, my phone started vibrating nonstop. Notifications, dozens of them. I unlocked it and my jaw dropped. Someone had replied before I deleted, "At TechForge Insider here, is this about the recent accidents? Spill the tea." And then it exploded. Retweets, quotes, people tagging the company account. Wait, how? I realized I'd used a hashtag that was trending locally for workplace issues. My vague rant had hit a nerve. Comments flooded in. "This sounds like my old job. Expose them. OSHA needs to investigate." My face burned hot, sweat beading on my forehead, despite the AC blasting. I wasn't trying to start anything, it was just a frustrated slip-up. But now strangers were DMing me, asking for details. I ignored them, heart pounding, and shoved my phone away. By the end of the day, as I clocked out, the tweet, even deleted, had been shared in threads. I drove home in silence, the radio off, gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles whitened. Rain started pattering on the windshield, blurring the streetlights. "What have I done?" I muttered to myself. At home, I paced the living room, the carpet soft under my socks, but it did nothing to calm me. My roommate, Jake, walked in with takeout bags, smelling of greasy fries. "You look like hell, man. What's up?" I spilled it all, the slip, the viral spread, the fear gnawing at me. He laughed at first. "Dude, it's Twitter. It'll blow over." But as we scrolled together on the couch, the numbers climbed. 10K views, then 50K. People were digging, finding old posts where I'd mentioned my job casually. One user even linked to a news article about a minor accident at TechForge last month. "This guy's legit," they said. Sleep didn't come easy that night. The sheets tangled around me as I tossed, replaying the day. What if the boss finds out? I'd been there 2 years, scraping by on a salary that barely covered rent. Losing this job would mean dipping into savings I didn't have. Morning light filtered through the blinds, and I dragged myself to work, coffee in hand, pretending everything was normal. But whispers followed me down the hall. "Did you see that thread about us?" one coworker murmured to another. I froze at my desk, ears straining. Mike slid into the chair next to me during a meeting. "Hey, that tweet, "Was that you?" His voice was low, accusatory. I denied it, but my voice cracked. "No way, man. Probably some troll." Inside, guilt twisted like a knife. I hadn't meant to drag everyone into this. The day dragged on, each email notification making me jump. By afternoon, HR called me in. The room was sterile, with posters about team spirit on the walls that felt mocking. "We've seen some online chatter," the manager said, her eyes sharp. "Anything you want to share?" I played dumb, sweat trickling down my back. "No, ma'am." But walking out, I knew they suspected. My phone buzzed again. Now it was reporters DMing me. Care to comment on TechForge's safety issues? I blocked them, but the story was out. Local news picked it up. Anonymous tweet sparks workplace safety debate. My anonymous became semi-famous. Friends texted, "Is this you? Wild." That evening, I met up with my buddy Alex at a bar, the clink of glasses and murmur of conversations drowning out my thoughts temporarily. "You gotta own it," he said over a beer, foam on his lip. "Turn it into something positive." But I shook my head. I just want it gone. As we talked, my feed refreshed. A whistleblower account had amplified it, claiming inside sources confirmed the issues. Views hit 500K. People were praising me as a hero, but others called me a liar, a disgruntled employee out for revenge. Hate comments stung in the dim bar light. Why did I post that? It was a moment of weakness, and now my life is unraveling. Over the next few days, it escalated. I called in sick to avoid the office stairs, curling up on the couch with blankets that smelled of laundry detergent. Scrolling became an obsession, threads dissecting my words, memes made from screenshots. One viral one showed a cartoon worker with a megaphone captioned, "When you accidentally start a revolution." Funny to others, terrifying to me. My sister called. "Hey, I saw something online. Are you okay?" I broke down, voice shaky. "It was a mistake. Now everyone's mad." She tried to soothe me, but the emotional weight pressed down, making my chest tight. Back at work, midweek, the boss pulled everyone into a meeting. The conference room air was thick with tension, coffee cups steaming untouched. "Regarding recent online rumors," he boomed, "we take safety seriously. Any concerns? Come to us directly." His eyes scanned the room, lingering on me. I sank lower in my chair, heart racing. After, coworkers cornered me. "If it's you, thanks for speaking up," one whispered. "But you're crazy," another said. Divided loyalties tore at me. I felt like a traitor, yet also empowered. That night, alone in my apartment, rain lashing the windows, I debated coming clean. What if I just apologize? I thought, staring at the ceiling fan whirring above. The controversy peaked when a former employee chimed in online. "I left because of this exact issue. Props to the poster." Retweets soared to millions. News outlets reached out. I ignored them all, but the pressure built. Sleep evaded me, replaced with nightmares of getting fired publicly. Emotions swung wildly. Regret one minute, defiance the next. Maybe this forces change, I rationalized, brewing tea at 3 a.m., the herbal scent calming slightly. Weeks blurred. The company issued a statement, "We're reviewing protocols." Small victory, but at what cost? My anxiety spiked. Therapy sessions helped. The counselor's voice soft over Zoom. "You didn't intend harm," she said. But online, the mob persisted. Doxing threats made me private my accounts, paranoia setting in every time the doorbell rang. One arc closed when OSHA announced an investigation, crediting public tips. Pride flickered, but fear dominated. Coworkers treated me differently, some grateful, others distant. Mike avoided me completely. I get it, I thought, eating lunch alone, the cafeteria echoes amplifying my isolation. Then, a new twist, a rival company poached me with a better offer hearing about my bravery. Interviews were nerve-wracking, suit itching against my skin. "Tell us about your experience," they asked. I hedged, but landed the job. Packing my desk at TechForge felt bittersweet, boxes heavy with memories. Settling into the new role, safety gear top-notch, I reflected on the chaos. The viral storm had passed, but scars remained. Therapy continued, helping unpack the guilt. "You sparked real change," my sister said over dinner, plates clinking. Nodding, I felt a tentative peace. But echoes lingered, occasional mentions online, reminders of that slip. Emotions resurfaced. What if it happens again? Vigilance became my norm, double-checking every post. Months later, life stabilized. New friends at work, hobbies resumed, hiking trails where fresh air cleared my mind. Yet, the experience shaped me, teaching caution in digital vents. One day, scrolling casually, a similar story popped up. Empathy surged. I knew the turmoil. Commenting anonymously, "Hang in there. It gets better." Closure, finally. Drop a comment with your platform of choice, thumbs up if you learned something new, share this post with friends, and subscribe for more social media comments.